Hello everyone. It's been so long since I streamed, but I am back, and that is exciting. Also, I've never actually streamed by myself on this channel before, and I certainly haven't talked about what I'm going to talk about, so that's interesting. Welcome. If you are a regular viewer of SideQuest, you're probably like, where the fuck have you been for 2 months? There was a pandemic, and the world is on fire, and Queer Questers decided to take a little hiatus at the moment, so we just haven't been streaming. But I'm back! I'm here to talk to you about budget video gear. Because, weirdly, people said that they would be interested in that. So I'm going to show off... Sorry, I'm just monitoring the stream here. I'm going to be showing off what I use as a professional videographer, which is almost all budget gear, because although I'm a professional videographer, I'm also a broke as fuck one, and video gear is expensive. Don't mind this here in my glasses. When I am professionally shooting a video, I can absolutely light someone so that I don't get light reflections in their glasses. However, when I am filming myself here at the desk, that is nearly impossible because I have no space. And honestly, just have to put up with that. If I go like this, it's like not so bad, but then I'm like weirdly, anyway. I'm sorry. Deal with it. I'm dealing with it. It's fine. So, I don't even know where to start. Video gear. Should I talk about other stuff first? I don't know. Stuff. See, I'm really going. My stuff. I'm in a bundle right now. That's a good thing to promo. I am in a bundle on Itch. You might have heard about this great bundle on Itch. All of its proceeds are going to Black Lives Matter related things. To be honest, I at the moment cannot remember exactly which foundations it is going to. Legal funds and bail funds, I believe. Anyways, Camp Flying Moose is in that bundle, along with over 1,000 other games that you can get for a minimum donation of $5. It's bananas. It's such a good deal. And it's raised like millions of dollars so far. So if you have some money, you should go and pick it up and get some great games and support a good cause. That's what I have to say about that. If you're interested in learning about Camp Flying Moose, actually, at 3 p.m., I promise I will be wrapped up. No one wants to hear me talk about video gear for an hour. At 3 p.m., head over to the We Are Nerdsmith Twitch channel, where they are actually going to be showing off Camp Flying Moose. Going to be learning the system, talking about it. So I'll be heading over there to hang out in the chat, and you should join me if you want to learn more about Camp Flying Moose. All right, let's get started. Mom's in the chat. Hi, Mom. Watching like she always does. Very. For people who keep. I am recording this so that you can watch it later and learn about budget video gear and video production. I'm just making room on my desk, which I should have done beforehand. So, I am surrounded by gear. I have a tiny apartment and entirely too much stuff. Okay, starting with this. This is my camera bag. And if I'm being honest, is the least budget piece of equipment that I own. Because let me tell you a story. I had another camera bag. I loved it. It was a great camera bag, good quality. I paid maybe like $120 for it. Really sturdy. However, I am a one-woman band. And I hate carrying 8 bags when I am trying to get to my place and move my stuff around as a one-woman band. And so I was constantly shoving everything in that bag, and it was entirely too small to hold all of my gear, and I actually broke my camera. I snapped off the holder for the microphone. And then I was out of commission for like 3 months because that happened right before the holidays and the repair place was shut down and it was a whole thing. It was very upsetting. And immediately after that happened, I spent probably about $450 on this massive beast, which holds all of my stuff and weighs 1,000,000 pounds. So, it's a Tenba video bag. It's a soft bag. Again, excuse me, so expensive. Doesn't really fit the budget video gear, but it holds all of the video gear, and ergo was an excellent choice for me. So I'm going to open it up. We'll go through here. I managed to keep most of my stuff in here except for the really big stuff. So it's got these like cool flappy flaps, and then it's got this audio bag on the top, which we will get to in a moment. I'm actually going to put this on the floor and pull stuff out of it. So, I'm going to start with what I shoot with. Yes, my mom says that the little bag is a great bag, which she knows because I gave it to her for her camera gear. So, as a videographer, the most important piece of gear, probably, that I own, although I'm going to contradict myself shortly, is my camera. This is my camera. This is the epitome of an excellent budget camera, let me tell you. So, most people who are going to be budget shooting, including you, if you're watching this, are likely going to be more leaning towards a DSLR type system. And that's totally great. They work great. Lots of people shoot with their DSLRs. Vloggers do it. Cinematic shooters do it. I do not, because what I am is primarily an event videographer. I shoot a lot of live performances, dance, theater. I'm at people's weddings. And so because something that was really important to me was something called servo zoom. And that is just, there's a little rocker right here. Anyone familiar with a camcorder will know it. Little rocker right here. And I can just zoom in and out like that. When you roll focus, or when you roll your zoom, it's almost impossible to get like a really nice, smooth zoom. So I needed something with a servo zoom, which meant I was going towards a camcorder instead of a DSLR. So this is the Sony XD-Cam PXW X70. It is old. This is going to be a theme. Nothing that I own is really new or recent. Probably the massive camera bag is the most recent. I think I bought that in 2017. Does that sound right? Yeah, 2017-ish. The most recent piece of gear I own. So the camera I bought in 2015, right after I graduated from college, from a broadcasting program. And what I like about it, so I paid $2,700 Canadian. Oh, I'm getting a text. It's not my mother. Okay, I paid $2,700 Canadian, which is pretty good. It has a built-in lens. I can't change the lens. That's pretty standard for a lower budget camcorder. Decent low light performance. It is 4K capable with an upgrade that I haven't bought, to be honest, because my clients don't need 4K. Sometimes they think they need 4K, but they actually don't need 4K, and thus they say, you don't need that. You don't want to pay me extra for that. And really great about the camera is that it is broadcast compatible. So it's a 422 camera instead of a 420 camera like would be on a DSLR, which means that if I have something that I need to submit to a news station or if I get hired by freelance, it's already set up to meet all of their tech specs. And also it gives me greater flexibility in editing. So this is my main workhorse camera. This is my A cam. She's little, but she's powerful. I have 2 XLR inputs, pro audio inputs, decent battery life, lots of stuff. I've got full manual control of all the stuff that I want. So that my camera. If you have questions about my camera, you can ask me. I love it. I have thought about upgrading, certainly, because it was already a couple years old when I bought it in 2015. But again, I am broke and can't really justify an upgrade when my camera works perfectly fine. Sometimes a downside to a small camera like this is that it doesn't always get taken super seriously. People expect me to show up as a pro videographer with like massive cameras. So like every once in a while I kind of have to like stick up for myself a little bit so people will take me seriously. But I love this camera. It does its job. It's excellent. And I think you can still get it. It's there's a new version, the Z90. But you might even still be able to get this one. Again, they're under like $3,000. They might even be under $2,000 right now, so that's a fuck ton of money. Don't get me. I do not have $2,000 to drop right now. I don't have $500 to drop right now. But at the time when I made the investment, it was still a really amazing deal in the world of pro cameras. So that's my camera. Really great on this topic of its small size. I keep saying like I'm going to wrap up, but it's not. Excellent for run and gun. For example, right now, people are out shooting the protests and the police brutality, and a camera like this actually is going to serve you really well for something like that, because you plug in the mic, you turn it on, and you're good to go. It's small, so it doesn't weigh you down. It's easy to get out of the way. Really excellent for new shooting and run and gun videos. Do they even make massive cameras still? Yes, yes, they absolutely do make massive cameras. Although now often the bodies of the cameras are really small, and what's big are the rigs that are built around them. So it's not just the camera. You have to have lenses. You have to have barn doors for cutting light. You need to have tripods. You need to have sliders. You know, cages, attach all of your different audio things. So massive cameras, a little bit smaller now, but still end up taking up quite a bit of space. So that is my camera. That is, however, what I would call my A cam. Any videographer with their salt, particularly one who is shooting by themselves, despite only being one person, is unlikely to have just one camera. I, in fact, have 3. I'm hoping to make it 4. A camera, a Sony PXW-X70. My main B camera, which is got the battery compartment open. That's weird. Is this little Sony A6000. This is what a lot of people actually use. They use the Sony A6000 line is a really popular vlogging camera. The A6000, again, is a little bit old because I am broke, and when you buy ones that are a little bit older, then they tend to be a better deal. So this is one that I use for B-roll. I give it to my second shooters. Great for when I'm doing weddings, getting in the dance floor and filming without getting in anybody's way. This has interchangeable lenses, so if I need that feature, which I don't have on my A cam, I can always go here. Limitations of shooting with a DSLR are that you normally have a 30-minute record window. And then afterwards the recording shuts down. So that's something to be aware of. And I think I paid about $600 for this 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I got it on sale though at the time. So it's really great. I mean, if you can operate a camera, like a regular camera, you can operate this, set it to video. You don't have quite as many of the pro features, of course, as I do over here. I don't have as much room for editing in the sort of technical bit. which is also why it was really important for me to get a Sony, because I used to shoot my B cam with a Canon DSLR, and the Canon color profile and the Sony color profiles look different. All cameras are gonna like render color a little bit differently, and that meant I was spending a lot more time in post-production trying to match my cameras together. So this has a similar picture profile to my A cam, and so I save myself time in editing. And then my C cam. This is a tiny little Sony action cam. If you're familiar with GoPro, then you know what this does. It comes in a heavy-duty case, and you strap it to various things for extreme sports. Or, if you are a one-woman band, you stick this somewhere in its case and use it as a locked-off shot that you can't get because you don't have enough hands or body parts in order to do that. I like, this is popular for me at weddings or at live shows. I put it up behind to get like a shot of the performers from behind, or at a wedding, I put it high up in a church or on a second level or whatever, and I shoot down for a nice wide view of everything that's coming. And then I always have a safety shot. And this, I think I paid about $400 for. Why I went with the Sony, besides that everything else I have is Sony, is that it came with a really neat feature. Because again, I am a woman who does this all by herself. It has this little, like, watch with a screen so that I can actually control the camera from my wrist and see what it sees. So I set it up and walk away from it and still have control over it. So it's got this little, like, screen. I think the battery's probably dead. Yeah. But it's got like a nice screen, and it actually literally shows the video that's being taken, so that's super neat. And generally very helpful as a solo shooter. Okay. Got camera pieces everywhere. So that's my cameras. You would think that cameras would be the most important part, and I suppose they are. It's hard to take video without video taking equipment. But 90%, I would say, of video is audio. People are going to forgive, like, really shit video. They are not going to forgive bad audio. Bad audio is going to make people click away from whatever you're making so fast. So, let's get into audio gear. I have the shotgun mic. It's my main shotgun mic. It's a little Audio Technica shotgun mic. A shotgun mic picks up all the sound that's in front of it and a little bit behind, but mostly it's a very, what we would call a directional microphone. Where it points, that's where it's picking up the sound. It goes right here in my A-cam and picks up decent quality run and gun audio. I paid probably about, I don't know, $100 or $150 for it. Probably closer to $100. Plugs in, does its thing. Not much to say about it. I really like it. It's a good quality microphone for the little amount of money that I paid for it. Highly recommend. Audio Technica is a good brand, and they make equipment that runs the whole range of price points, and their budget equipment is not crap. So, there's that. Then, I have this fun little of wireless lav mics. So a lav mic is the one that you attach to people. Right here, let me get an actual microphone, because that is not the microphone, that is the receiver. So, you see people with them clipped to your shirt like this. A lav mic is perfect for interviews because it's going to cut out anything that's far away and really just pick up the person who's speaking. So, but this microphone needs to attach to something. And so it attaches to one of these. This is a receiver. What I like about this set, which I paid about $700 for Canadian at VizTech, is that, again, little camera, limited inputs, one-woman band, not a lot of money. This is a 2-for-1 deal. So, these, I call them receivers. These are actually the transmitters. I have 2 of them, and I have 2 microphones. I have a dual receiver, so that I can actually mic 2 separate people and get them coming in on only one input, which was a really great way for me to save money, space in my bag, and spaces on my camera, for which there is limited space because it's so small. I really like the quality of these. So these are Ceramonic. Like I said, I think I paid about $700. I got them at VizTech here in Canada, which is my preferred place to buy video gear. These are really solid, like metal construction transmitters, so they're like super heavy duty. Really easy to use. Once I had like walked through the process, they're super fast to set up. They are operated by regular like AA batteries, so you kind of go through batteries quickly, but you don't have to buy expensive specialty batteries like I do for a lot of my camera gear. So, audio. And then, I don't know, I have other random little bits. I have this like Rode lav mic that's actually designed to plug into your phone, which is super cool, which I should really use more. I could be using one right now, but I'm not. So again, just a little lav mic, but it's designed to plug right into your phone, which is super neat. And then I have one more piece of audio equipment. So, aforementioned problem, only 2 XLR inputs on my camera. Sometimes I need to record a lot more sound than that. To that end, I have this little device, which is just like an audio recorder. So this is the Zoom H6. It has 4 XLR inputs, and then it has a little camera, or it has a little microphone that I can plug it on the top as well and just could pick up stuff like that. This records the audio separately from my camera. So I can just like leave it, plug my mics in. I can take instruments, or if I have to mic a whole bunch of people, I can like do it. And then all I have to do afterwards is sync that audio to the reference audio on my camera. This I got in I was still in school. And I would not normally say that this is a budget piece. The H6 in particular, because it has so many inputs, is a little bit pricier. But here's my number 1 tip for budget videography. Buy used. I met a person when I was shooting Blues Fest, and he was like, I don't need it anymore. Do you want it for $100? And I think it was normally like $500 or $600 at the time. And I was like, yes, I want it for $100. I didn't even know what I was going to use it for, but I was like, that is such a good deal. So I bought it, use it like fairly regularly. So that's super exciting. Zoom H6, another piece of my audio equipment. Lights. Let's talk lights. You gotta make your stuff look good. Because let me demonstrate what happens when you don't use lights. It looks like crap. You can't see me. Half my face is dark. It's not very good. So, need lights. Lights are expensive. There's just no way around that. Well, I found a way. I found a way around that. The same way I found a way to get this Zoom for a really good price. I have this. I know I said I only like to carry one bag, but well, that's a goal and not actually a reality. This is my lighting kit. This lighting kit I got used on Kijiji here in Canada by another pro videographer who was actually upgrading his lighting kit. This lighting kit at the time was worth about $1,500, and this man sold it to me for $200. So that was an amazing deal. There is a downside to buying this used equipment. It's that you don't get the newest. And so my light uses tungsten, like incandescent lighting, like light bulbs. So it gets like hella fucking hot. So hot. No, LED lights are way too expensive for me. Appreciate the fact that it up. There's lights, different shapes, all that stuff. They came with the light stands. There's not really that much to say about it. He very kindly included various color changing gels. So with contemporary LED lights, one I'm using here, which is a cheapo ring light that I got on Amazon, I can change the color of the light. Here you can see that I'm changing that. With these light bulb style ones, I cannot do that. I have to use gels in order to do that, and so this man kindly gave me various gels and things as well that I can use to alter the color temperature of my lights. And it's got the stands. I have 3 light stands as well that come in it. You know what, if I'm honest, I don't use much as I expected I would, because it turns out as an event photographer, or a videographer, I mean, I'm mostly not able to set up lights. I can't go to a bar where there is a live show and set up a bunch of lights. That is a hazard. So I don't regret this purchase because I always have. But it turns out for me, it maybe not important of a purchase. But I'm still really glad to have it for when I need it. But it like throws it a little bit so you can like kind of like light up someone who's close to you if you do have to do like an interview at night, or again, I can sometimes use them on the dance floor at a wedding. I have 2. I don't know. I have 2. I think I paid like maybe $30 or $40 each on Amazon. They're super cheap, but they do what I need. And this one has barn doors, which is kind of fun, so I can control light spill if I need to. This is probably the one that I use the most, and then if I'm being honest, I give this one to my second shooter. Because I'm a jerk, basically, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So that is lights plus this ring light. But I don't use the ring light is new, but I'm not going to be using it for my like pro video work. It's really just here to light up my desk. And okay, ring lights are all the rage right now, but they're like kind of weird. They're a very distinctive look, and I wouldn't have bought a ring light except that because they're all the rage, that's what was cheap. So that's why I have a ring light. I don't think they're as great as everybody thinks they are. I personally am not a huge fan of the circular light reflection in your eye. I think that they have a place. I just don't super love them. But again, it was cheap, so that's what I'm using to light myself for streams. Okie dokie. We are actually almost done, if I'm being honest. I don't have that much stuff, because being a budget videographer means that you need to edit. You can't just buy everything because you don't have the budget for it. So the last thing I'm going to talk about are stabilizers. You want pro footage? You gotta stabilize. You gotta use a tripod. And you can't use a cheap tripod. Don't buy a cheap tripod. Okay, a $20 tripod is just gonna fall over and break your significantly more expensive, but still budget camera, and no one wants that. So, use like a prosumer, basically, like budget pro model tripod. I use Benro tripods. You can get them on Amazon. They also sell them at Vistec here in Canada. So this was a set. A tripod comes with the tripod base, and then a video head is normally sold separately. This one came as a set. I think I paid around $400 for the set. It has a fluid video head so that I have like total 380 control. I know how to use my own tripod. What is going on here? I have total control over like smooth panning and tilting, basically, which is necessary for video. For photos, you don't need to be able to like go on an angle or anything like that. But for video, you need to be able to do that. So this one is aluminum. Aluminum I find tends to be a little bit cheaper than something like carbon fiber, but it is also a little bit heavier. Although the heaviest part of this is the video head. The video head that I own is plastic. So that's one area where they're able to cut costs. The plate is metal, but the head itself is plastic. So you do have to be like a little bit careful with it. But it's taking a beating. Your tripod's going to take a beating. I am a really big fan of the Benro tripod. I think you get really great value for the money that you are spending. And because your stabilization is so important, it's a place that you want to try and get as much quality as you can. Sometimes, though, I need stabilization, but not a whole tripod. In which case, I have a monopod. Same brand. It's a Benro aluminum monopod. A monopod just has one stick, one leg, and so I can just kind of be more fluid if I need to be moving around, but still don't want to be handheld. And pro video tip, try not to be handheld, because that's going to make it look amateur. This also has a video head. It's a little bit of a smaller video head. This is the S4. The other one was the S6. And then it has 3 legs at the bottom that so it can stand. And I wouldn't leave it standing with my on, but it helps I don't get too much arm fatigue. The only thing I don't like about this one, and it's entirely just because I didn't have the one I wanted, is that this is like a twist system for extending the legs. So I have to turn it and then the leg comes out. I prefer the flip lock system that I have on my tripod. It's a little bit faster. But this maybe cost me $100. So can't complain about that. Monopod. And last but not least, I have some gaffer's tape. I'm not showing you gaffer's tape. I own it. It's stuck to my various things. When you need to be mobile and monopod still isn't going to cut it, I have, this was a Christmas gift from my mother, actually. I have this shoulder mount. So the foam sits here, you can hold here, and it gives you more stabilization than just a regular hand holding of the camera. The camera sits up here. Again, this is often something that I give to my second shooters. I tend to hire a lot of new people, and which is not to say that they're not talented, but as a safety mechanism, I want to make sure that they're not giving me a bunch of handheld footage. So I'll be like, here, you just take this. It's also just makes you less tired. You can pull your arms in, go like this. I don't know how much this costs. I used to know how much it cost because I put it on my wish list, but I have forgotten. And again, I didn't buy it. My mother did. So this one is more I would not say this is an essential piece of gear. It's just been nice to have. And this one is Neewer brand, which shows up on Amazon a lot for pretty affordable rates. And again, I like the quality. This one is not, it's got quite a bit of metal. All of the support bars are metal, so it's quite sturdy. And I'm not worried about it breaking. Lots of adjustable pieces that are really great. So it's a good piece. And that's really about all I've got. Oh, I have here, this is a reflector. We're talking about lighting. I'm going to open this up and then I'm going to regret it because I hate folding these things. Sometimes you need more light, but you don't have another light, or you don't want that harsh of a light. So you use a reflector. And it just brightens up. You can see as I'm turning that, there's more light on my face. It's bouncing the light around. This is a Neewer Bland portable reflector, and it probably cost me like $20. It's a 5-in-1. I can change the colors. So, you know, that's great. I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna fold that later. It's very large. You can see, like, it really is huge. I don't even know if you can fully appreciate how big it is. So that is sort of my pro gear and what I use it for. I know I was like, hey, let's talk budget video gear. And now you're sitting here and you're like, whoa, you're talking about things costing a lot of money. And it's true. All together, I would say I've probably spent about $10,000 on my gear. And that's not even touching my computer, my editing software, that kind of thing. My mom says the shoulder mount $100. There you go. Thanks, Mom. So I spent about $10,000. So that's still a lot of money. But there are cameras. There are not even top of the line cameras that cost $10,000. So I think I've done a pretty good job of managing to put together a really solid kit. I did not buy all of this stuff all at once. This has been pieced together bit by bit over the last 5 years. And it's been pieced together with my line of credit and my generous grandmother who gave me a loan that I haven't paid back to buy some equipment. So I understand that it still might be shocking to be like, this isn't really that budget. Which, to that Rode microphone that I talked about plugging into your phone costs about $100. And if I'm being honest, I am surrounded by all of this gear that I spent $10,000 on. And yet, when my cats are doing something cute, or there's a bunny in the backyard, or I'm out on a walk and see something cute, instead of even pulling out this, the number one thing I go to is this. Most people have a phone with video capabilities. This one isn't even that good. It's so old. This is my 6S Plus. It's ancient. This thing, also 5 years old, still takes perfectly acceptable video. You just can't zoom with it because it has only an electronic zoom and it looks terrible. But I can make perfectly acceptable video. And with my little Rode plug-in microphone, I can also take great audio. Oh, I mean, that's pretty budget. There's a lot of free apps. You can absolutely do that. My gear is definitely a mix of like full-on just like consumer products and then some prosumer products as well. And then this camera is in a really strange thing where it's like kind of a prosumer camera, but it's also a professional camera. It defies categorization in that regard. So if you're getting started in video production, I am not saying go out and spend $10,000 and buy everything that I have. What I have has been curated specifically for me and what I do. There's still a couple of pieces of gear that I would like. I'm really into the DJI Osmo Pocket right now. It's totally not justifiable unless I shoot enough weddings because I would really like to get a nice look with that. But like that's another like $400 that I just don't have, you know? And oh, my mother can tell you about when I discovered that they have portable jibs. So a jib is like a huge crane, and you put a camera on it. You normally see them in studios for like big sweeping shots or on movie sets. This is not something that most videographers have, but they make little portable ones, and they're like $1,000. And I really want one, even though it's totally does not fit how I shoot or the fact that I do it alone or any of that stuff, but I still kind of want one because gear envy is a thing for sure. But I don't have one because it doesn't fit my budget or my shooting style. So I don't feel like I'm saying this is what you should have. I'm saying this is what I use as a pro. However, I make my career is doing this. I shoot weddings and events and all of that stuff, and this is how I do it. It's manageable on a budget. But I also, again, recognize that budget is not, it's still quite large. So if you are just getting into, for example, streaming, okay? We stream. I'm streaming right now. I stream for Queer Questers. I do not have pro streaming equipment, even if that's so much a thing. I'm doing this right now with the webcam on my ancient MacBook, this cheapo ring light that I got literally this week for like $20, $30, and a blue Yeti microphone. I don't know if you can see it. That I bought, I don't know, for like $80 a few years ago. And a extremely cheap mic arm. Sorry, you just had to hear a whole bunch of sounds. This is like an amateur. I don't know. It looks okay, and I think it works. So again, it's just using the resources that you have. If that's your phone, if that's a camera you already have that can shoot video, because more important than the gear is the content you're making, the story that you're telling, and your skill with using the equipment. And even if you're not skilled with using the equipment, practice will make you skilled with using the equipment. So that is what I have to say about that. In terms of my editing software, I pay quite a lot of money for my editing software because I use Adobe Creative Cloud. They don't sell it in Canadian dollars, so I get dinged every month on the fee. I pay about, right now with the exchange rate, about $80 a month for my Adobe subscription. However, there's lots of actual like free pro editing software. DaVinci Resolve is a really great one, totally free. And you have a full editing software and color grading in that program, which is really excellent. So I pay for Adobe because that's what I'm the most comfortable with using, because there's all the different programs that work together, but it's certainly not a requirement. And so that's been budget video production and what I use and the things that sustain my livelihood beyond RPG writing. I hope that you found it interesting. I don't have much else to say, and I promised I wasn't going to talk for an hour about video gear, even though I could. And so on that note, if you have questions, if you want more details, or you're curious about the tech specs of something, because I did not go that deep into nerding out about it, then you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Alicia Furness, and you can ask me questions there, and I will happily share my expertise with you. So it is now 2:45. If you are watching, then I highly suggest that you swing over to the We Are Nerdsmith channel in 15 minutes and watch them go over one of my game moves. I mentioned it at the beginning. Very excited about it. And stay tuned for more info on when Queer Questers is returning sometime later this summer, I expect. Actually, on that note, we will likely be returning using a new system. We're switching from D&D to a different system. Currently, haven't decided which one we're using, but we're looking at a couple of options. And it's being done because I want to be able to tell different stories than what we're telling right now, and I'm feeling a little limited by 5th edition. And if you happen to follow any of the news, you know that Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons and Dragons are in a bit of hot water. Hashtag Fire Mike Merles. You should look that up and find out about that. And, maybe it's a good time to just be looking to some other options. So that's what I'm going to say about that. And I'm going to bid you all a good afternoon. Thank you for hanging out with me. Don't forget to hit me up with your questions on Twitter if you have them. And I hope you all have a great week. Thanks. Bye.